Hi, I'm Okan. Wait for the countdown.
Hi, I'm Simon. I hate the countdown.
I am Peeze. I'm ambivalent about countdowns.
Chris. Okay, perfect. He's got it. He's picked up on us.
Yeah, he's got it.
All right, perfect.
Hi, I'm Eagle. I am the countdown.
All right.
I'm sorry I'm so ambivalent.
Okay, Eagle, get back to doing what you do. All right.
That was good.
What the fuck was that?
You're like, I'm Eagle. I do the countdown.
That was a good impression of you.
Okay.
That's how terrible you sound.
That was a terrible impression of me.
It depends who you ask.
No, the best Eagle was when he was stressing out at Roadshow or whatever it was.
When he screamed at Rob on
I
the
was
field.
screaming at Rob.
Robert!
Rob.
Rob! Wait, started the game for?
What the fuck? We're not ready.
I was really pissed.
Really?
They're like in 5
pissed.
plays. He's so pissed. Like, wow, I didn't record the first 22 minutes of the game.
They started the game. I hadn't started the broadcast.
It
Our
was.
viewers were upset. I was
yeah.
upset.
gave
Rob
me-
was indifferent.
It gave me a
Rob
flashback.
needed to know we were upset.
The president's like, Eagle, what do you want me to do?
Once again, Eagle was the countdown.
Yeah.
It gave me a flashback of Eagle the day before when he was playing PlayStation and his roommate just closed it and Eagle just lost his shit.
For real?
I wasn't there. Nobody even knows this story.
Your roommate.
What? That happened?
I think we're making
I
stuff
don't
up.
remember
I'm
this.
not.
Okay, speaking of making that stuff, let's get to
Slow it
Div
up.
1, Div
Fake
2.
news.
You
What
don't
caught your
know.
attention from the Div 1, Div 2 games this weekend?
Prospect Squad. SYO for life. It
Oh,
was
God.
a terrible game.
So it got your attention by terribleness.
He didn't say which one was good. Two teams. Listen, both teams have good players. There's no questioning it. Both teams have guys who belong in Division 1, Division 2. Together, they're not great. Quarterback-wise, that's not a Division 2 team. It worked this week because they played each other. But when
Can they play each other more often?
But can they when they'll play? No, because if they play each other more often, we're gonna have so many URs and
Or
OCs.
OCs.
So many. I'll give props to Prospect Squad. They kicked out their own player before he got OCs because he was being too much of an ass.
What
They-
happened?
So they do this weird handoff run play, but it wasn't a fake, so everybody knew what was gonna happen. He ran to the sideline, tried to beat the corner, did not, got tackled for a 1 yard gain.
The worst of all scenarios.
So
Losing 1 yard sacks
Yeah.
better.
yeah, so you got like 1 yard, but you don't stop right there, so he keeps running to slow down. Walks back towards the guy to pick up to get his flags back, and instead of just taking his flag and walking back to his huddle, starts talking shit. But you got 1 yard from your run. So he bumps chest with the DB. Then the DB doesn't back down. So you get like
Mono.
Yeah, and then the third guy comes in, so he starts screaming, "You guys are shit. I'm better than all of you." But everybody just the argument is, but you didn't do anything. Like, you haven't done anything all game. He starts talking shit. So his teammate comes in, tells him to calm down. You calm down. You shut the fuck up. And he starts to his own team. So the team kicked him out. So I was paying attention, and the guy got kicked out, took his shirt off. Now it was like bare chest, start walking around screaming stuff. So I turned around to the referee. I was like, so like 2 OCs? He's like, no. But why is he off? His team kicked him out. Not at all. I mean, it mattered because he would have got OCs afterwards. Although very next play, the guy that came in to replace him because he was kicked out
Got an OC?
got an OC right
That's
away
amazing.
and never came back. He came into play.
That's amazing.
He came in for one play. I don't think he played the game itself. Came in for one play, didn't even get the ball. Like he was like slot to the left, did like a 5 yard hook. The ball was caught by someone else for a touchdown, and as he ran back towards his huddle, called the other team a bitch.
So he's like a hockey
So
goon
Craig
then.
was right next to him. He's like, "Nah, that can't fly. You're kicked out for 5 plays." Kept running out, didn't care. Like, yeah, whatever, I'll take it.
So he's like a hockey goon then. It was just a goon.
Yeah,
player.
he was a big dude too.
I got You Can't Sit with Us beating STL 41-40.
Yeah, that was a good game.
Terry Tam, game-winning 2-point convert, front and right corner of the end zone.
Are you
Great
serious?
catch, absolutely.
I saw the
great
video
ball,
of that.
great catch, great play. Honestly, it was one of the most fun games of the week.
No, but you forget to mention the good part. As he caught the touchdown for a 2-point convert, as he ran back to his huddle, he just waved the other team goodbye.
Yeah. All right, well, that's Terry gonna Terry. Also,
Terry being Terry.
beautiful hair flip at the end of the catch.
He just waves the other team good night. It was great. It was the most Terry thing. But yeah, it was a close game. Very impressed with like both offenses, both defenses, not so much.
Monstars beating up on, or not beating up on, but taking out was it Fat Boys or Fat?
Got fat.
Got Fat. It was a close game because Got Fat had a chance late in the 5 plays to.
Well, they
press.
scored. They just went
Couldn't
to 2.
convert on the game-winning 2-point convert. But I look at Got Fat. They play with an edge that we all know about with the Santoma brothers. But now you wonder if that edge is going to be borderline volcanic reaction from the opposing team out there, because there's a few times in that game where they kind of
Went too far,
but nothing happened because the Monstars are a good group of guys. They're not going to want to get into tete-a-tete with anybody. They're not going to do that.
But some others might have.
Yes, and that's where I wonder as we play against when they'll face the finals or D boys again.
Yeah, but that's
Braves.
Scott skills, right?
When they face
Braves.
Braves, yeah.
Braves will never retaliate, but they'll always instigate.
Yeah, and then God Fight will retaliate and get kicked out.
So in that game, what I noticed the most about that Monstars Godfight game is Monstars played well, wasn't great. Godfat did not play so good. They got lucky more than anything else. There was a lot of third and fourth down that were like third and long, fourth and long that they managed to convert because Nintendo has an absolute cannon of an arm. But when it came down to it, why are you always facing third and long and fourth and long?
Yeah.
A lot of bad decisions or tough throws that didn't go his way that he could have just moved the chains instead, right? He was always going for the killer shot.
Yeah, he's going for the kill shot, but like the reality is that Monster defense, and Sam Mashib was actually banged up. He had a pulled hamstring. He didn't play as much in that game. But the reality is that defense, and Theo Bikelis, no one talks about him.
Very good. Very good player.
He is an unbelievable player in Division 1.
He's one of the best players on this team.
He is.
By a long shot.
I think you take out Theo Bikelis. I mean, minus Rod Mashib. You take out Theo Bikelis, that team isn't the same.
No.
On both sides of the football.
No, Theo is probably the best snapper in FBF. And even as a DB, what he's able to do playing in the shorts, the amount of like interceptions, pick six, and PDs he gets because he's so aggressive is
and smart. Aggressive and smart. He reads the concepts really well.
Yep.
So are they now a legitimate threat, the Monstars? Are you going to put them in that window, or are they still on the outside?
You know what?
To me, they were never on the outside. I think that their unique style of play makes them a threat, and they have. This is the best version of Monsters in terms of they have the right pieces that execute that style.
So chemistry.
Well, yeah.
Because they had Jordan McLaren, right? And
but that doesn't mean just because the player is a better player doesn't mean he fits what you're doing best. Where I feel now all of the pieces absolutely fit. Like to me, Anthony Brisebois is a good example of a guy who just fits that team as good as he is, and he's good on any team. He's exceptional on Monsters.
So what needs to go right for the Monsters to keep this up then? If they're going to be...
They need to put teams away and not make mistakes like they did against Goffat.
Like allow them to score in the last 5 plays and allow them to go for 2 and allow them to have a shot at winning the game.
Well, that's the thing. The same thing in week 1, right? I forget who they beat week 1. Eagle. Who did they beat week 1 again?
DK.
DK, right? They allowed DK to come back in this game, right? They gave the picks or the INT to Pilon.
They always go big, but they always allow a lot too. To me, Monstars this season, they're 2-0. Great start. Easy schedule. They played DK and Goffat, which are potentially the 2 worst team in Div 1 at the moment.
Next week, Subway.
Next week they play D-Boys, who are on a losing streak. D-Boys is not playing well.
So nothing to worry about with D-Boys?
So D-Boys, they do this thing, though, where the first 3 weeks of the season...
Yeah, but this is next level sloppy.
Yeah,
like
But we've said that about them. We've been on this show long enough.
Yeah.
Guys,
I agree.
We're just rehashing the same thing we've said for the last 3 years now.
But this, if you look at purely the stats comparing season per season, this is the worst start that they've ever had because of their offense.
I was told.
Marco's not playing well. He's currently the worst QB in Div 1.
I was told.
Stats-wise, he is.
I was told from someone I spoke to who's seen the first 2 D-Boys games, it's the same thing as the Monsters minus them winning the football games, that they held a 2-score lead against the Finest, couldn't score in the second half. Marco Masiocha did not have a good second half. First game of the year, they held, I think it was a 9-point lead, again, 2-score lead, and they lost that one as well. So it's the inability to finish off games here, but that shouldn't happen from a D-Boy squad that has been in Division 1 for many years.
They're lacking. They don't have Jamal Kins at the moment, who was always their speedster that got to stretch the field for them. They always used to bring in 1 or 2 new guys that sort of give them something else, but I feel like this season the guys that they brought in are not at the same level of the guys that they usually bring in. This is Marco's stats after 2 games. 301 yard, 7 touchdowns, 4 picks, a 76 QB rating.
That's weak.
Chris,
it's not good.
I think I'm not worried about the D-Boys. I think Marco, once he gets it back together, I think I think they're gonna roll and get a playoff berth. Marco, he didn't play last spring as a quarterback. I think he just played receiver.
Off.
So
Yeah, he had a bit of a
his shoulder,
injury history.
There's a
going
problem
on.
with his shoulder. That's why he's also not playing quarterback in Div 2. He only wants to throw for one team.
I think if he gets back to 100% and he gets back on track, I think D-Boys will be a contender.
So is the issue actually Marco Masiocha and perhaps I think this might just be the weakest team he's played on for a while.
I think it's the receivers as a whole.
No one's posted as a threat then.
Right? Like, Theo J is going to get the ball. But if you double team him because you don't have another guy that's going to burn you over the top, like what Jamal Gibbs used to bring to this team, then at some point, Theo can score 7 touchdowns per game.
So as Eagle does a fist pump here, can you list off the roster for D-Boys, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
Also, just as I said, D-Boys right now are 0-2. They're playing Munstars and Fly Morsack next. If they go 0-4, are they...
No, they're not. They're gonna make the playoffs.
Because they're going to
So-
play finance again and, right?
Yeah.
Current roster. So I'm going to go with games played ordered first,
Yeah,
okay? So
sure.
Anthony Como, Jordan McLaren, Justin McLean, Marco Mathiotra, Matt Kierwack, Quade Johnson, Theo Ojea. Then Jordan Beaulieu has 1 game along with Sean Steen. And Jamal Gittins is on the roster but hasn't played yet.
That's a better record. They should be 2-0.
When is Jamal coming back? Do we
We
know?
don't know.
He's hurt. Yeah, he doesn't even know.
Because let's say he does come back in a couple of weeks. Having Gittins,
He blows off the top of the defense.
Justin
Yeah.
McLean, and Coy Johnson, and Theo, just them 4 together is.
But that's the thing is they're missing that second speed threat.
But
To Simeon's point, to be fair,
I do feel like with Theo, Jamal, and let's say Matt Kierwack or Anthony Como playing snapper, that's what their offense has always built around, right? That's how the D-Boys have been successful offensively.
yeah.
You take out one of it's a 1-2 punch between Jamal and Theo. You take out one of the two, they're not as efficient, and it's showing in Marco's numbers, and not necessarily him, but the offense is struggling.
So what's the floor for them for wins then? Are we looking at 6 wins?
I mean, it'll probably be what we expect 6 or 7 wins.
To me, they can't go 0-4. They have to beat either Munstars or Fly Morsack.
Okay, so percentage-wise, right now, they got who they got first, Flag Sack or Monstars?
Munstars.
So what percentage would you put on them winning that football game?
60.
60. So you're gonna go more than.
Well, I
the-
mean, 60-40 is basically a coin flip.
So
It's
D-Boys is
slight
favorite.
edge
towards
So
Mon-
D-Boys is favorite if it's 60-40,
Yeah.
right?
yeah.
To
I
me,
mean,
this is
like,
more...
it's just look, the favorite in that, I think, honestly, this season in D1, I feel like a lot of games are 50-50. And the thing is that given that they've already lost 2, I'll give a slight edge to D-Boys, who I think are maybe a slight favorite, maybe not.
to me,
Like, would it shock you if they win?
No,
So then,
it's a big game for both teams because that means Monstars go 3-0.
Mhm.
Puts more like it puts Monstars on a pedestal, and it hurts D-Boys if they lose.
So here's the thing: if Monstars were to lose to D-Boys, does the pressure go on Monstars? Do they feel like, oh my god, we just lost a game to?
I feel it brings back the parity in the division that
Well, I think it might affect,
any given
It might
Sunday.
affect Monsters in the sense of like, oh, maybe we're still at second tier.
Yeah,
Whereas if they win the game, it's a huge.
They're
There's the monkey's off their shoulder in a sense.
yeah, it brings them like, okay, we could compete with any team, not just DK Goffat. But we'll see what happens.
All right. Speaking of parity, Div 2, so far in 13 games that has been played in Div 2, you've had 8 of the 13 that has been decided by 7 points or less. Is this a really cool thing to see now that we're not having any more blowouts like we did in years past in Div 2?
I think that so Div 2 at the moment, I feel like there's not a number one team. There's a few strong teams. I think we all agreed that Braves were not necessarily a top contender. I think
Braves 2.0.
I think that they are.
Yeah.
But I don't think that there's a true number one team to beat the way, let's say, Montreal Finest is in Division 1. There's a few strong teams like STL, you can sit with us, Braves. But I also think that there's a few teams at the bottom that are really going to just feed wins.
CO for life, Kings Landing,
SYO for life, Prospect Squad,
Killer Bees.
Kill the Bees.
So
Listen, I don't think King's Landing is going to be feeding the whole way. I think they're decent.
No, but they're still.
They're going to be competitive, but yes, they're not.
They'll lose closer games, but they'll still lose a lot of games.
So what words of advice would you give SYO then? Because they only scored 7 points this season through 2 games.
What kind of advice can I give them?
Because they're in Div 2, man. And you got 7 points is not going to cut it for anything.
Check your ego and maybe register for a more appropriate division. Was the advice?
I think they want to play with their friends, which is fine. I also think that if you bring in one or two guys
But
that are
couldn't
not
they have fit in Division 3?
probably.
Like, I'm just looking at the
Yeah,
cap. Yes, they do.
yeah.
They fit in Division 3.
I also think that if you bring in an actual Div 2 quarterback to this team, they'll instantly become
Yeah,
I'm
competitive.
shocked, though, because this is a team full of former university players, and they couldn't find a quarterback.
But maybe they don't want to play with the ones that they knew. Right? That doesn't mean you're friends with these guys.
Yeah, but...
Or maybe they had one and
why
they
play Div
bailed.
2 then, man? Because it's...
But that's what I'm saying. So,
Yeah.
like, given that it's a team for your friends, and given that you fit in Division 3, why not play in Division 3?
I agree.
But the parity point of Div 2, though, you mentioned about the bottom feeders of that division.
Yeah, the problem is we're gonna have a lot of teams that's below 2-8, or let's say below 3-7, and a lot of teams are just gonna feed off of that. So we're gonna have some 5-5 teams that are gonna finish 7-3 because they played weaker teams the whole way. They're gonna have 3 freebies.
So is there even a great team in Div 2? Like, is there like we have the Finals in Div 1, right? We have in Div 3 the Cougars. But is there a team that you're going to say, wow, this is a great team right now?
Braves 2.0. I think they've impressed me so far. They've been playing really well. I think that that's it. You Can Sit With Us have been playing well also.
I think #NR are a great team. I don't want
See,
to.
I don't think
I
so.
don't want to get hung up on the one loss.
Okay, so
Really
why
really
do you
strictly
think they're a
to-
great team, Peeze?
Look, roster construction's there. Jamal Gittins on this roster as well, and not having played a game hurts because that's a lot of cap space that you were expecting to have devoted to a star player that isn't there in the team. And they're a good team in probably the weaker conference.
So if you take
The weaker part of the
if
conference.
you take this #NR and you take out Jamal Gittins and Jermaine Parrish,
Yeah, it's weaker.
is it can they win Division 2 without Jermaine and Jamal?
No.
No, but they'll still win 6 to 7 games.
Now
without them.
I don't know about Jermaine. He could just have missed one game and played the next 8. Jamal, I have
Because he played the first week.
He did play the first week. I remember.
Jamal. I
speaking
have
of
some
that game.
doubts simply because of
Did Mike Asari play this game or no?
who?
Mike Asari. Or Mike Zimmy, whatever he's going with now. Or Prince Copperfield.
Peace.
I don't know that none of those names exist.
Exists, all right, fair enough.
So just to me, knowing Jamal Gittins, if he's hurt right now and he's not able to come back, I don't. They might end up not having him as a playoff eligible player.
Well,
Right?
if he comes for injured status, then he'll get the games.
Yeah,
played
but
for, right?
if
I
if
don't
he
know
only
has-
gets back from injury like week 6 or 7,
so you're saying he's not going to be football shape for the stretch run?
it doesn't look good.
Did you
I-
abbreviate one of their names again to like Bill or something?
No,
Yeah. There's no one on the roster. Is it Zion Love?
no. Zion Love was there week 1. I remember meeting them. Yeah, Kadeem Pierre played.
Kadeem Pierre, is that him?
No, Kadeem Pierre. He played
Again, I don't know who you're referring to.
Okay.
That's my difficulty. Like,
the unknown player. Yes, sir, Chris.
I find Controversy has a good roster. Like, I was looking at the roster, and like I haven't seen them play yet.
yeah,
So you
their
lost on
loss is a week 1 loss. So let's relax.
Is Jad
Yeah.
snapping for them?
Yes.
So that I think first time playing with Dan.
Who was it? Who was it yesterday?
They beat
They called Jad the best 1-yard slants in FPF.
I forget.
But it was like super pejorative. Like it wasn't a nice compliment. Oh, great 1-yard slants. That's all you can do. 1-yard slants.
Okay, but if
I think it was Vini. Must have been Vini Golano.
so. He's run 700 of them, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
and
How many catches does Jad Reedy have in his career? If you don't mind
In his
saying
career?
that. Yeah.
Career?
Yesterday, I think he had 10. Like he was.
Checking.
Does it count the season though?
Regular season receptions. Hold on. Receiving.
Matt Radio.
Mo, talk in the
holy
meantime
shit.
though.
In
I like
395 regular season games, 1,618
Just divide.
catches
Just divide.
for
Bro.
13,269
Just
yards,
divide,
270 touchdowns.
That's
That's-
1600 catches.
that's a lot.
is foolish.
Just divide.
That's
How many
crazy.
catches per game? How many yards per game?
That's 300 games divided by.
Let him
Well, it's 4 catches a game.
Yeah.
for like 40 yards.
Yes.
What's 14,000 divided by 400? Shave off
Yes, whatever.
0.
Okay, so
At 8 yards a catch.
40 yards a game.
okay. Anyway,
No, more
that's
than
still
that.
a very great average.
Is
No,
it a
you think
possibility to
that's
have
140 over 4.
Controversy versus No Regard
like
in the finals?
45.
Can that be possible within the conference, or it's
Well, it's gonna be conference.
Yeah, I think it's conference, those two teams together.
in the same conference?
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
So,
No, they're not.
Opposite, so they can.
So
be
yes, it could happen.
Yeah,
Yes, it can happen.
Could happen.
I'm predicting a final. Just
Okay.
say that.
Look at that.
It just came
Against
to
the
my
grain
right.
over here. Chris Rive picking controversy against no regard.
You were there yesterday for that.
But neither of those teams shocked me to be in
That's
the
true.
finals
I agree with
at
you.
all.
So there isn't a great
There's
team
two of
with
the best quarterbacks in the division,
Corey Pecker
Yes.
and
and Dan Lazare.
Dan Lazare.
The teams are both super well built. I don't see an issue. I don't see an issue with that prediction at all. To me, that's not against the grain. That's two of the better teams in a division of good teams.
Yes,
They can-
Mo.
No, but given Dan Lazaro's history in the playoffs,
And he's got a good point.
Ayo.
Strong point, though. Chris makes a great point about that.
Like, I think-
fired.
Shots are fired by
no,
the new
no,
guy.
no. I'm just saying. I think he's gonna pull it together this year, and I think that he's gonna finally.
Oh, no. He didn't hear that
Oh,
part. Because I'm going to
You
get a call
guy,
from
you're gonna
like
get a
2
message
o'clock.
tonight.
Minga, bro. Who's this Chris guy coming on the show?
Be
and,
ready
and
to be
doing
awake
this?
till 3 o'clock
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
morning getting messages.
Me, bro.
I just
who-
got a notification right now. He's fat.
Me. who is this
Dan's
guy?
gonna rip you, bro.
Who is this guy? I don't know who this guy is.
What do you
No,
mean? They're losing the playoffs.
You know what it says, like, when you get a message like Dan Lazare has sent you a message? It's not. It says Dan Lazare has sent you a threat. That's the actual notification.
Also,
Shall we
it's
call
not.
911?
It's not 3. It's 30. There's a zero
Yeah.
there. Do you think it's time to start freaking out about clockmakers?
They lost one game.
No, but
Against
wait,
Cowboys.
wait,
It
wait,
was
wait,
an
he's-
ug- it
wait,
was
wait.
an ugly
No, what
game.
he's trying to imply is that they've not gelled yet. Like it's like a slow moving offense.
Ryan
Okay.
Castner did not look good yesterday, and even in this week 1 game where they beat Kings
Yo, he
Landing.
lost a lot of weight. He always looks great now.
No, I'm not. But it's just he didn't play well in week 1. He didn't play well in week 2.
No, and Simon brings a good point though, right? Is it a matter of just understanding these guys? Because remember, Ryan Castner had his own guys for the McGill.
Its
crew
QB
for
rating is
years.
89 after 2 games.
Yeah, and look,
It's not good.
we spoke about it. Derek Castner might be more of a Div 3, Div 4A guy now. I'm not, I don't know if he's able to play Div 2, but I think he should be doing better with what he has. This is a team that
Right.
understands angles and running routes across the board with his receivers.
What I noticed last week the most was that Ryan Castner still calls the same plays he used to call 7 years ago. Ryan doesn't have the same.
So he's like Mike McCarthy,
Yeah.
dinosaur offense.
Ryan-
Actually, and given the kind of offense, I would agree.
Ryan Castner doesn't have the same arm or / rifle he used to have 7 years ago.
Mhm.
Right? Like it's
No,
you
you're
remember.
right.
I remember watching Ryan 5 years ago, and the ball would come
Zip.
in very hot.
Yeah, he was
Now,
slinging.
what I saw yesterday, a lot of they're not floaters yet, but they're not as slingy as he used to be.
Slingy.
Slingy,
So you mean
slinging it. So,
zipping the ball?
if you call the same plays where you need to throw it in the tight window, but
Yeah.
your arm is not there anymore, it's causing issues offensively.
Right.
And I find that's the issue right now. Is he's trying to
Like the first week, actually, I was standing next to you, Simon, when I remarked on those 5-yard outs, like that's gonna get picked soon because
somebody's gonna jump that.
it's the
And
ball's
that
just
sticks.
not getting there with the same.
Is
same power
it a
used
matter
to.
of just adjusting to what you see? Like,
I
because
think
you know
you
they
need to
always
adjust to your personnel as well as what you see. Like you need to be realistic with the players you have and with your own skill set, and that's
Like the reality check of saying I don't have the arm I used to have 7 years
so
ago.
what schemes can I run instead?
Yeah,
Best
exactly.
use the talent I have around.
Yeah. I think that there's a lot of talent on this team, and it's a strong team. He finally has a good defense, and they're able to stop teams. But it's a matter of, first of all, the typical Ryan Castner turnover issue.
and sacking issue as well.
Yeah, that one sack was very costly
Yeah.
yesterday. But if that offense, either it was just a bad 2 nights in a row, it could happen. It could be it. Or maybe change your schemes a little bit.
Yeah.
There might be, because you need to score more than 26 points per game,
Yeah, for sure.
which is what they're averaging now.
Spotlight game, STL Bad Boys. Before we make the pick here, guys, looking at this game, STL against Bad Boys. Which quarterback do you like in this game? STL versus
Dylan.
Bad Boys.
I'm gonna go Dylan Taylor as well.
All right.
It's more you're asking questions that we are agreeing on, so it's not.
Pat
it's
Chenal is currently the worst quarterback in Division 2. In 2 games, 4 touchdowns, 2 picks, 79 QBR, 250 yards.
That's ugly.
This stat line right here, 252 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 picks, 3 sacks, is a 1-game stat line of a not great game where he got stopped in the red zone.
So who has more game breakers on this roster that can?
Oh, Bad Boys have a dominant roster.
So we're
from
gonna go
top to
better
bottom.
quarterback, Dylan Taylor, more game breakers. Bad
I mean,
Boys.
but STL, it's not like they're devoid of talent either.
No.
They're
No, but
pretty stacked team.
Bad
across the
Boys
board, too.
have Alex Pilon and Nick Arsenault.
Okay.
We're potentially two of the top 10 players in FPF
Mhm.
right now. on the same team alongside very good talented players like Pachinal too. Like they're not. It's not just a top heavy team, but their offense is not working.
Yeah.
All right. It is now time for
Games of the week.
All right, here we go. We can go 3 games each, 1 and Div 2. So 6 games, 3 each, please.
Okay, so in Div 2, we got Braves 2.0 versus Alcoholics.
2.0. Alcoholics saw their first game. Ooh.
Yeah, Braves 2.0.
Yeah, I agree.
King's Landing versus YCS who? You can't sit with
You
us.
can't
okay.
sit with us.
Okay.
Yeah, you can sit with us.
You can't sit with us as well.
Next.
And Bad Boys versus STL.
Give me STL.
STL.
So all that shit
What?
you just said,
What?
you go with STL.
STL.
All right.
That's how you work it.
I agree.
All right. Div 1. There's some good games in Div 1, actually, that are going to be... we talked about the Monstars game against
D-Boys.
D-Boys. That's going to be a good game, which I'm sure we'll pick. Here we go.
Monsters versus D-Boys.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go... I'm going to go D-Boys for this one.
I'm gonna ride the hot streak and take Monstars to upset.
I will as well, just because of the typically slow start of D-Boys.
Okay, so if before we get to the next game here, yes or no, if Monstars win, they go 3-0, D-Boys 0-3, D-Boys catch Monstars?
By the end of the season?
Yeah. 3-game
No.
gap with 7 to go.
No.
What was that?
If Monstars go 3-0, D-Boys fall to 0-3, do D-Boys catch Monstars in the standings?
Because it's an extra half a game in hand.
Okay, so
It's 3.5 games ahead
7
of them.
games to go.
It's
Okay,
too
no
much.
problem. Next,
Waste Youth versus Braves.
Waste Youth.
No,
I think Dagenais slays the dragon finally. His demons.
It's tough, man. Braves are so good. I'm gonna go Braves.
Oh,
Yeah,
man, he's
Braves.
gonna call you guys at 4 o'clock. All right.
Probably, but I'm
It's
awake
all right.
anyway.
Yeah.
It's gonna be close. I'm not saying it's gonna be a blowout.
Next,
Flagmore Sack versus Got Fat.
Flagmore
Oh,
Sack.
yeah, Flagmore Sack. Well, are the guys suspended?
Who?
Is Van Ram playing on Flagmore Sack?
That's a good question. I don't know. I didn't see.
Did he play this week?
I do not see.
I'm gonna go Flagmore Sack either way.
But I'm going Flagmore Sack either way.
So then, why are you asking the question?
Yeah.
Well, it changes things. I was curious.
All right. Match words, please.
Who is the real composer?
Eagle.
Composer of what?
Eagle.
Listen, I asked the
These
question.
are bad questions to Google.
Google who is the real composer. You knew that if you challenge me, I'm just gonna make you Google it.
What are fights about?
Good night.
I don't even
Eagle.
want to read the results.
Oh.
They're stupid.
I want you to Google the image. Long walks on short bridges.
It's just water.
Google image.
Yes.
It's just a bunch of memes.
I'm sort of disappointed. I was hoping for like a giant on a tiny bridge.
We're in 2019. Everything's just a meme.
It's true. Our lives is just a meme.